$100 MBA Show, your daily dose of business goodness with our daily 10-minute business lessons for the real world. I'm your host, your coach, your teacher, Omar Zenhom. I'm also the co-founder of the $100 MBA, a complete business training and community online. Check out our free guides and our free full video course on idea validation over at 100mba.net and get your business going. In today's lesson, you will learn 3 steps to tackling large projects. Many of us get really overwhelmed when we have to take on a large project. Whether that's a new business, a new product, a new online course, or writing a book, or whatever it is. We see this huge idea, this huge project in front of us. We don't know how to tackle it. We don't know how to begin. And it's kind of hard to see the finish line when you have no plan. So in today's lesson, I'm going to break down how to break down large projects into smaller tasks. And this is a 3-step process that allows you to make sure that you don't get overwhelmed. And you see that any large project is basically small little tasks that build upon each other to make the large project happen. I've used this technique in the past. I am using this technique right now with a project I'm working on. A project I mentioned before, easycourse.co. A project I'm working on with Jason Zook. A 30-day detailed course on how to create your online course in 30 days. And it's a very large project, and I had to use this exercise in order to pull it off. So I'll be sharing some real-life examples on how to use this 3-step process. So let's get into it, guys. Let's get down to business. Today's episode of the $100 MBA Show is sponsored by Design Crowd. As a business owner, you're busy, and sometimes you're stuck for ideas around how to develop your logo, your website design, your business cards. Wouldn't it be awesome if you have access to, let's say, 500,000 creative minds? Well, you do with Design Crowd. Crowdsource your designs, get the best designs, and stay within your budget. Get your VIP discount of $100 off your next project at designcrowd.com/MBA. That's designcrowd.com/MBA. All right, so what are the 3 steps to tackling large projects? Well, before we get into those exact steps, and we will get into detail for each of those, I want to make sure that we establish a mindset. And that mindset is great things take a bit of time. So it's a large project. It's going to take some time. And remember that you need to allow time for this to happen. A lot of us, we have expectations of, pulling off a huge project in record time, like in a week or something. In fact, it's going to take a bit more, especially if you have other commitments, other things you're working on in your business, or you're working in a job right now. The point here is that this takes time to do right. And part of the overwhelm is like, wow, this is going to take a lot of time. Well, just come to terms with that and realize that you're just going to be chipping away. And time goes by quickly. Time goes by all the time. I mean, look at the calendar. You probably feel like, wow, New Year's was just around the corner. So a few months passed very quickly. And time flies when you're having fun and you're busy, so you're going to be busy with this project. So understand that this will take some time, probably longer than you expect, but when the time is up, you'll have it done and completed. And as you get the ball rolling, you'll start to see it come to life. You'll get excited. And that's my second point. Momentum is huge. The reason why I love this strategy, breaking things down into smaller tasks, is that it allows you to build momentum. Getting wins into small little tasks, getting things completed, making you feel like, wow, I'm getting a little bit closer to the finish line every single day. If you speak to any kind of physical trainer or a sports coach, whenever they do a new program for somebody, whenever somebody tries to get into shape with a new program, or they're trying to improve a certain aspect of their athletic ability in some sport, the first week or 2 are very intense. They want them to work out almost every single day, because that momentum is very important to build the habit of getting one foot in front of the other and building upon that program. Because once you get some momentum, those wins alone will push you to complete the task, complete the project. So that's the basis of this 3-step plan. All right, let's get into step number 1, and let's use the project I'm working on right now, Easy Course. You can check it out at easycourse.co, but really quickly, Easy Course is a super tactical 30-day course that will help you build, launch, and sell your online course in, you guessed it, 30 days. And in this course, there's 30 lessons. 30 lessons to outline, to build, PowerPoints, to shoot, to edit. We have the actual website. We have the actual course content that needs to be put up there, PDFs, sales pages, payment integrations. There's a whole bunch of things Jason and I have to do. So it's a large project. How we're going to break it down, with these 3 steps. Step 1 is exactly that. Break it down into smaller tasks. Now, when Jason and I sat down to brainstorm about this project and we established what it is, the first thing we did is that we broke down everything we have to do, from registering a domain name to actually choosing the name of the course, to outlining the course, to putting the PowerPoints together, to what kind of videos these are going to be, all that kind of stuff. We had to list down every little task we're going to do to make this happen. Doesn't matter how little it is, you got to put it down. What is it going to have to take? What do I have to do to get this done? And it was a long list of things. I think it was like over 35 items. Now, I want to take a moment here to say that Jason and I are primarily working on this project, but we do have help from Nicole, my partner, in both life and business, and Jason's partner in life, Caroline. Caroline's helping out with the website and the branding and the PowerPoint slide design. Nicole's going to be in charge of shooting the videos and editing the videos as well. So these tasks are being split not only between Jason and I, but also between the help that we're getting from our partners. This is just for full transparency, so you know that the majority of the tasks Jason and I are doing, but there are a few tasks that are going to be taken care of by other people. And that might be the case for you as well, whether that's somebody who you're outsourcing, whether that's a website design or video editing, or somebody you have on staff that can help you out, or somebody that you can partner up with. So again, step 1, listing every single small detailed task. And this is sort of like a to-do list. And beside each task, you have to assign somebody who's going to be responsible for it. Now, we're all responsible for all tasks, but somebody's got to actually initiate and do the work. For example, one of the tasks I had to do is outline the whole course, bullet point every lesson. That's my job. I have to complete that. But once it's completed, I can share it with Jason or anybody else and say, hey, what do you think, Jason? If there's something you add or remove, give me your comments, and he will comment on it. I would edit it. So he is helping me out when I'm asking for it. But the vast majority of the responsibility and the work is up to me because that's my task. I'm assigned that task. The same thing goes with Jason. Jason has his assigned tasks. He's responsible for it. So beside each little task that make up the project, we got to assign somebody who is taking command that is responsible for it. All right, so that's step 1, breaking down the project into smaller tasks, as many tasks as it takes to break it down, and assigning responsibility to each task. If it's just you working on this project, you may want to consider getting some outsource help. Even if it's just for a few hours, hired freelance work, whether that's designing a logo or a website design or whatever it is. All right, let's move on to step number 2. Step number 2 is assigning deadlines. You got to have a timeline to your project. You can't just have everything open-ended. Everybody's got to know when they are responsible for completing each task. Because at the end of the day, you have to have a timeline to this project. You have to have a launch day. You have to know when to promote. There are things writing on certain tasks to be completed. So say, for example, we don't have a name for this project or a logo or a succinct way to describe what this product is. We can't put up a landing page to ask people to sign up for early access. So that task is writing upon the other tasks. So having a timeline and a deadline schedule allows you to know when you can actually do things. Not only when things are due, but when you can move on to the tasks that are writing on other tasks. So once we had a name for the course and how to describe succinctly, and we had a domain name, we were able to put up a landing page so people can opt in for early access over at easycourse.co. Now, this could be a very open discussion if you're partnering up with somebody like Jason and I, or if it's just you, you have to get realistic about the timeline. You have other commitments. Make sure you know how long it's going to take you to complete each task. I usually like to double the time I think. So say, for example, I say, oh, this task is going to take me, let's say 10 hours. I say 20 hours. Okay, 20 hours. Where am I going to get those 20 hours during this next week? I'm going to need more than a week. I need 2 weeks because I can't find 20 hours in just 1 week. So you got to think practically and put a deadline to each thing and make sure you put things in order, each task, so everything's building upon each other, just like I gave you an example before with the landing page. So with deadlines now and the task list, you know what you're responsible for and when it's due. Now it's your job to make sure it's done at that time. And that's what leads me to step number 3. I'm going to get into it right after I give some love to today's sponsor, Design Crowd. So you might be asking, what can I crowdsource on Design Crowd? Well, you can crowdsource just about any creative project on Design Crowd, from your logo design to a WordPress design to a banner ad to a Facebook page design to a Facebook ad. Some people even crowdsource tattoo designs on Design Crowd. The most common project on Design Crowd is a logo design. A great logo is critical for any business, whether they're just starting out or you're rebranding a more established brand. And Design Crowd is perfect for launching your new logo or reworking your existing design because you only get the best designs to choose from. Typically, you'll get 60 to 100 different designs submitted to you by qualified designers. You can then choose the best one, or you can even have your audience choose the best one on social media. And you only pay one designer. The designer of the logo you choose. Get started with Design Crowd right now, and you'll save up to $100 on your next project with their VIP offer for listeners of the $100 MBA show. Just go to designcrowd.com/MBA. That's DESIGN crowd.com/MBA. All right, so step one was breaking down the project into smaller tasks and assigning responsibility for each task. Step two was assigning deadlines for each task and in order of operation. And step three is having a weekly assessment. You have to assess your project every week. Are you on track? Are you late? Are you behind? Do you have enough time to work on other things and get ahead a little bit? What's going on? You got to assess how you're doing. You can't just not revisit the project or the timeline or the responsibilities until the project's over. Have a weekly assessment. You got to hold yourself accountable in order for you to be successful. So say, for example, you are intending to launch your project in a month's time, and you started working on this project a month ago. So the total time for this project is 2 months. Take a look at your total task list from the beginning, step one. How far down are you with that list? Now, obviously, some things take longer than others, but is half the work done? Are you on track? Is more than half done? Great, awesome. You might be able to launch early, or you might be able to, test things out and, tweak things before you launch. But most likely, or most often, people are behind. What do you got to do to make sure you hit your deadline? Where are you going to get the extra time? Do you need to outsource certain things? Do you need to renegotiate who's doing what if you're partnering up with somebody? Weekly assessments are really important, even if those weekly assessments are just with yourself. So for example, with me and Jason working on the project, I have to sit down every week and say, where am I with my responsibilities? You want to make sure that you fulfill your end of the bargain. You make sure that you finish your tasks on time. And that's it, guys. Break it down into smaller tasks, assign responsibility, have deadlines, and assess on a weekly basis. You can do this. I've done it over and over again, and even though I've done it so many times, I still feel a little bit of overwhelm at the start. But then I realize, okay, I got a system for this. Let's break this down. Let's make this happen. And every day it feels better and better because of that momentum and because you're building upon task after task. Guys, thank you so much for listening to the $100 MBA Show. Thank you for hitting subscribe and listening every single day. It means a whole lot to us. If you want to show us some love for the show, drop us an iTunes rating and review. Everybody who leaves us an iTunes rating and review enters our weekly random draw to win a lifetime membership to the $100 MBA Training and Community every single Friday. We call it Free Eye Friday, and it's our way to say thanks for being so awesome. All right, guys, that's it for me today. But before I go, I want to leave you with this. Every time you complete a big project and you break it down and you actually get it out there in the world, the easier it gets. The more you feel confident to build bigger projects, more challenging projects. So my advice to you is, if you've never done this before, just do it. Just get one under your belt. You'll feel so much better. You'll feel more confident as an entrepreneur and a business builder, and you'll feel more confident in your abilities to just cross the finish line and to make things happen. All right, guys, I'll check you tomorrow on the $100 MBA Show. I'll see you then. Take care.